Alright, hello guys, welcome back to another video. So I wanted to come on here to talk about somebody very delusional, let's just say that. So recently, around 2 days ago, I was browsing the internet, just having a fun, good old time. I hop onto some Google News, I'm looking through the articles and stuff, and I find this one that is titled, Tattoo Applicant Claims She Was Denied TJ Maxx Job Over Her Ink. Confronts Store Employees. It's so annoying. Now reading this, I was like, okay, what's going on here? Why is this such a big deal? Why is this taking the internet by storm? Well, it actually turns out that this lady went onto her TikTok to complain about this, about how she was apparently denied a TJ Maxx job over her tattoos. And as I'm going through this person's TikTok page, they come off as super delusional. And I was initially going to cover this a few days ago because I found it was pretty interesting, and I really didn't know you could be this delusional, but didn't get around to covering it until today. So without further ado, I guess, let's take a look at what she has to say.
So I wanted to come on here and talk about something that is really starting to annoy me. So I applied for a job at TJ Maxx a few weeks ago and they denied my application. They couldn't even call me. They just sent me some automated email. So I went in today and I was like, so what was the reason I didn't get hired? And she was like, oh, like, you just, like, don't have enough experience. There was candidates that had, like, more experience than you. And, you know, I asked her if it was about my tattoos, obviously, because I know a lot of places don't like tattoos. She said that wasn't the reason. I don't feel like that's true, but whatever, I'll leave it at that. So I'm just wondering how, like, teenagers and young adults who haven't had a job before, how are they supposed to get employed if these places are only hiring people with experience? So
okay, if you believe that they were bullshitting you, then why are you continuing to go on about how they were bullshitting you? I mean, obviously working at a retail store is like an entry-level job, like anybody can really get that job. And if they're bullshitting you, saying you don't have experience when they're an entry-level job, like they're obviously just using that bullshit reason to explain to you why you don't have a job without, I guess, saying the actual reason, which is your face tattoos, of course. I mean, look at this. You really think you're gonna get a job out in public looking like this, looking like a monster? Like, if any children come to the store, you're gonna scare them. Like, I really find it hard to believe that you thought you were gonna get a job in a retail store. Like, really? Like, honestly, in my opinion here, it's like you reap what you sow. You decide to get those tattoos and those piercings on your face, and then if you walk into a job and do an interview, like, most places don't like facial tattoos, let alone piercings, unless it's like earrings and stuff like that. But I swear, I feel like this should be common knowledge, okay? Because I remember learning this in like 10th grade in one of my business classes that I feel like everybody should have had. You literally learn like the whole process of applying for a job and the things you should and shouldn't do. Like how you shouldn't, of course, show up to an interview late and you should get there like 15 minutes early or so. You should make yourself look presentable. And some things that companies are not really looking for is this right here. Like, this is more than just a few normal tattoos to have. Like, you have them on your face. You have like all this blackness on your arms and stuff. Like, this is a lot. Like, if you want a job like this, and I know I'm yapping, or if you really want a job at all, depending on what it is, facial tattoos like these are not going to get you a job. You're going to get denied all the time. And usually if you have like tattoos on your arms and stuff, you would want to like cover that up so like people can't see that. Like, once again, I feel like this should be common knowledge. Don't be so ignorant.
And, you know, I hate that my tattoos are such a defining factor for me getting a job or not. Like, just because I have tattoos doesn't mean I'm not gonna be a good worker. Like, I do not understand that at all. Because quite literally, some of the most smart, intelligent people I've ever met are people with tattoos and piercings.
Are you trying to imply that they're discriminating against you for your tattoos and your artwork, your ink artwork? Because I really doubt that they're doing that. It's just, you know, you can't be looking like this when you're working a job like that. And with some jobs, there's exceptions. Like, honestly, if you're this good at, like, say, drawing, I'm not sure if you're good at drawing or if you're, like, into that. But what if you started learning how to become a tattooer, right? And then you work at a tattoo place? Because I know that job, definitely, they're accepting of, like, all kinds of tattoos because, you know, that's almost the whole business. So what if instead of complaining on TikTok on how you didn't get accepted into an entry-level job because of your face tattoos, let alone that you said you don't really need this job, you should maybe try something new and actually try to do something like that, or find any other job that is totally fine with you having facial tattoos. Just my thoughts though. Like, coming to the internet about this is not productive at all, and it frankly makes you look bad and delusional. Like, this shit happens, okay? But it doesn't need to be shared online.
I could be wrong, but I've seen that, like, in Europe, like, people with tattoos and piercings can get jobs, like, way easier there. So why is America not hopped on the bandwagon? Another thing, too, is, like, all these places, they say that they're hiring, but I feel like they're not. Because I shop at all of these stores and I see hiring now signs, but those signs have been up for months, and I know plenty of people are looking for work. So how have they still not hired people?
Yeah, let's just blame the businesses when I am the problem, when I'm the one who has these facial tattoos and literally whatever that is on your arm. Like, I think what you're experiencing when it comes down to this is not really anything that anyone else is experiencing unless they have the same thing going on with them. And I know it's tough, but you know, this is what you get for making these kind of decisions. Like, when you make a decision to get like a tattoo or something, just think, will this ever affect me when I'm trying to get like a future job or something? I know that might sound lame, but then you can avoid situations like this one that we're talking about right now. But anyways, moving on, that TikTok actually blew up and it got 8 million views on it at the time of recording this video, and a lot of people have seen it and they responded to it, and a lot of people are calling her delusional for making this video. And what I find to be really crazy is that this video has 173,000 likes on it, and then you go to the comments and there's this comment from somebody and it has 223,000 likes on it, and this person said, "LOL, you scare the kids," in all caps. I mean, that's literally facts, and that's why there's so many people liking it. Like, how can you be this oblivious when it comes down to, you know, having these tattoos on your body that could literally scare the children? If, you know, children come to your work and they see you, you know, that could happen. Somebody else commented and got even more likes. They got 252,000, and they said, "Tattooer here, it's probably the tattoos." I mean, at this point, when you have somebody who's literally a tattooer in your comments here, and they're getting significantly more likes than your video does in all, like, you gotta realize your mistake. And it's like, I don't really think a lot of these people are necessarily hating on you. It's just when you're being a clown on the internet, people are going to clown on you. And actually, I just saw this really good comment. Somebody left this comment. They said, "There's tattoos and then there's tattoos." Like, exactly. Like, this is like tattoos, not tattoos, because tattoos would be like, oh, maybe you have a few on your arm or something. Maybe you have some that are like in the areas where you can easily cover them up and stuff like that. You're not going like all out and like putting them on your neck and putting them on your forehead. Like, your forehead, really? I'm sorry, but that's kind of ridiculous. I mean, people can be into what they want to be into, but you know, it's like when you get denied for a job and it most likely is for your tattoos, like, don't go onto the internet and start complaining about it like you're some sort of victim or something and you've been wronged. Like, you wronged yourself here. I'm sorry. Like, for everybody who's watching this video right now and you want tattoos, just make sure you get tattoos if you really want them, like in an area where you can easily cover them up, so that, like, say if you want a job in the future, you will actually get that job because you won't have the tattoos showing like how she did. Don't get them all over these crazy like areas, like on your face or on your neck, and definitely don't get this whole long black tattoo thingy that's on her arm. I mean, honestly, to be honest, if you really want to get something like that, you could easily cover it up with like long sleeve, like, you know, shirts or like a hoodie, but just keep things off of like your face, because it's hard to be presentable when you have these tattoos on your forehead and on your neck. So just keep that in mind if you're trying to get tattoos, because I know a lot of people who are trying to get tattoos. Now, anyways, after this video blew up, she came on with another video right after this one, in which she is apparently claiming that y'all missed the point of my video entirely. Laughing face emoji. Yeah, no, I don't think we did. I think it was just you being delusional, but let's hear what you have to say.
Wow, it's not even 7 a.m. I woke up and read the comments on my video, and I have a lot to say. You guys missed the point of that video entirely. I don't need that job at TJ Maxx. I make plenty of money.
All right, I know that this video barely started, but if you didn't need this job, then why is this such a big deal to you? And why would you go to TikTok and complain about it if you didn't need the job? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Make it make sense, dude. Why is this such a big deal if you're already making a lot of money or enough money? Oh, because you wanted to pay a little bit more of your debt off or whatever using this job? Like, man, it just doesn't make sense, dude. Let alone that it's like, stop sharing this stuff on the internet. Like, nobody needs to hear about this. You just made yourself look really dumb in front of like 8 million people.
If I didn't make enough money, I would not be able to afford a Dodge Challenger that has a almost $500 monthly payment. I have thousands of dollars worth of artwork on my body. I have $7,000 breast implants, and I have about $3,000 of filler in my face. And it's crazy. It's like, you need to have money to do those things.
Is anyone else shocked that she's bragging about this as if it's like a good thing or like, you know, she actually has money or something? Like, I mean, she could have easily taken a loan out of the bank to pay for all this bullshit. And like flexing your Dodge Challenger, like, aren't those things like around $30,000 to $50,000? Like, it's I don't see the argument you're trying to make here. I mean, if you really didn't need that job, then why in the first place post a video just ranting about how you didn't get that job? Like, if it really wasn't that big of a deal, then why is it that big of a deal? Like, what kind of damage control is this? Because it's cringe and it's not doing anything. You're literally just a laughing stock at this point. Like, if I were you, I would just like shut up at this point. I would just not even say anything else. I would ignore it. I wouldn't address anything else or whatever because you've already done enough damage, okay?
And there's people saying, oh, it's because of your satanic tattoos. So if it is about my satanic tattoos, that's religious discrimination, which it's illegal to discriminate against someone based off of their religious beliefs.
Okay, well, once again, there are places out there that are not like the biggest fan of like facial tattoos. And it's not because, oh, the place is discriminating against you. No, they're not. And it's also like, how is the place going to know that like your tattoos are satanic or something? Like, they're not going to unless you tell them.
So funny because it's always like older generations that say that younger people are the ones that get all triggered and stuff the most when I think it's quite literally the opposite. And old people are in my comments saying that they're afraid of me. Good, I'm glad. I don't want to be around you. Old people are quite literally the reason why the United States is in quite literal chaos right now. All of these politicians literally look like they're about to take their last breath. But so, bottom line, everyone missed the whole point of that video.
Somebody said in the comments of this video, now I realize it's definitely not the tattoos. Yeah, I agree, because what is this video? But yeah, no, when it comes down to the older generations looking down at the younger generations and why people in general look at like the younger generations and say, oh, we're doomed, is because of people literally like you. Because you're just flat out delusional. And saying that like all old people are the reason why the United States is in quite literal chaos. I mean, there are many things going on right now in this country besides all old people apparently that are making the country be in constant chaos. Like, there are many examples, and it's not just because apparently all the old people are somehow making it chaos. Like, just because there's old people in politics and there are a lot of older people in politics does not mean everyone in the country who happens to be older is contributing to the chaos here in the United States. Now, anyways, that's the end of that video. And if you thought that that was the last video that we were going to have to take a look at, well, you are mistaken, because there are actually more videos. So she posted this video a little bit later in the day, in which it's a response to a comment, and the comment says, I wonder if your husband has tattoos also, and if so, where did he find his job? And here's the video.
So this is my husband, and yes, He has tattoos just like me, except for his face and neck.
Alright, I really hate to pause the video so early, but you hear her say it right there, except for his face and neck. Literally, as far as I'm aware, you would not have issues with finding a job if you didn't have those face and neck tattoos. Those are your problem, not the other tattoos, despite the fact that you have this really weird looking black one on your left arm. Like the ones he has, those are only on his arm, and he could have more under his clothing, but he can easily cover those up. You can't easily cover up yours. So, I mean, I think you guys all see the difference here. And also, when it comes down to her husband not having face or neck tattoos, he wouldn't necessarily be allowed to be in the military if he did have face or neck tattoos, because I mean, they prohibit that stuff. So yeah, literally, I mean, if you tried applying to like get into the military or whatever, you would probably be denied because of your face and neck tattoos also. Like, there's a noticeable difference on him and you. And this is why I think you're being delusional, because you're somehow oblivious to the fact that the reason why you're not getting accepted at these jobs is because you have these face and neck tattoos. Like, it's not that hard to understand.
Like I said in one of my other videos, I feel like a lot of you guys missed the point of that video, like, entirely. I was not just talking about people with tattoos and piercings having a struggle finding work. I also talked about younger people who don't have job experience yet because they're 16 years old, getting denied jobs because they don't have experience. Yes, I knew face and neck tattoos were gonna make my job search a little difficult. You guys are acting like I didn't know that at all. I'm not trying to be a doctor, I'm not trying to be a lawyer, and I'm not trying to work for the federal government. I was trying to work for TJ Maxx, a retail store that pays minimum wage. And to all these people commenting on my videos, stitching my videos, being like, oh, I wouldn't hire you. I didn't ask you to hire me. I asked TJ Maxx to hire me. So I don't know why you even think that comment is relevant. But when these places are only paying minimum wage, I don't feel like they should have the right to be super picky about how people look. You know, I get that I have tattoos and piercings, but I have clothes that are acceptable for a job like that. I also have good hygiene. I take very good care of my skin. Like, I'd be an acceptable worker.
You know what's real funny about her saying that she's an acceptable worker is this right here. If somebody searches up her name like Ash O'Brien or whatever, and this pops up and they start seeing these videos on how she's dealing with this situation and how she is, you really think that they're gonna hire her? If I was an employer looking and doing like background searches on the people who I'm about to hire and I see this, I'm making a whole ass U-turn and going back on my decision to even let you have an interview. Like, geez, man, this is ridiculous. And a lot of people in the comments, like, I fully agree with this too. They're saying, you're right, it isn't your appearance, it's your personality. Like, at this point, it's literally just her personality. And the fact that she thinks that they shouldn't have the right to dictate how their employees look when they're representing their brand, all because they pay minimum wage. Like, I'm sorry, but that's not how that works. Now, anyways, moving on, I'm not going to go through the rest of that video because it's like 7 minutes long, but just based off of the comments that you guys can see right here, you already know that this was a banger video. My brain rots just listening to you. I hope that helped. TJ Maxx was my very first job at 16 with no experience. Hope this helps. I don't need that job, but I'm gonna cry about it 100 times. Self-awareness is so important. Painful watch. You still don't get it. Good luck. Like, yeah, just the fact that these kind of people exist in the world, like, I really hope, like she said, she's going to move away to a different country so we don't have to deal with her anymore. Because honestly, I feel like she's beyond saving, but that's just my opinion. If you guys have a different opinion, make sure you leave a comment down in the comment section down below. And with that all being said, I'm going to wrap up the video right there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys happen to enjoy the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so that the video will get promoted more in the algorithm more. Recently, my videos haven't been being pushed by the algorithm as much. I have no idea why that is. So any support that you could give to this video would really mean the world to me. Anyways, thank you guys so much for being a member to the channel. Your support really means the world to me, and I really do appreciate you guys. My name is Breone, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.